Okay, welcome to my little video on how I employ DR navigation in IL2, wrong button. I've taken off out of this aerodrome here, and I am not going to try and pronounce these names because we are in France. And I have chosen a target, say this town down here. Couple of key points is this will give me my direction, magnetic 226 degrees and 74 nautical statute miles. The advantage of the distance is it will automatically change depending on what type of aircraft I'm flying. If this airspeed indicator is in kilometers an hour, the distance will be in kilometers. So I note from this town, from this aerodrome, I'm going to pass directly over that town on a heading of 226. So there's my aerodrome, there's the town. So I should be heading off in that direction. So I'm just going to try and freeze. That's my voice attack and pausing the aircraft for me. So I'm going to turn roughly from that town, so from that aerodrome to the town. Did it again. And that should be roughly a heading of 226 degrees. My DI is out, so I'm going to turn on to my, there's a direction indicator down there. Next important thing is what is the time. Okay, now I'm overhead the aerodrome at this time, and my clock is there, so that's 2 past. So I'm going to pop in the cloud. Here's my DI. Good, I can turn on to heading 226. Just going to ease the nose up, passing over the correct part of town. I'm going to cheat here. I'm going to use auto level, mainly because I want to be able to talk. 226. I will accelerate back up to 200 and never trust the autopilot. Make sure it's doing what you want it to do. That's better. Now accelerate back up to 300 miles an hour. 300 miles an hour is good because 300 is easy to divide by 60. If I'm doing 300 miles miles per hour, I'm doing 5 miles per minute. If I'm doing 240, I'm doing 4. 360 is 6. So that 74 miles will take me 15 minutes. I left at 02, so I should be at my target at time 17. All is good. I don't need to do too much more. I can spend this time looking out for the 109s and the 190s trying to shoot me down, which I do too frequently. I'm just holding heading, holding height. "15 minutes, good way to get lost, but I definitely started at that town, so at that aerodrome, 3rd time lucky, passed over that town, so I've got to be roughly close to being on this track. If I look at halfway, I'm passing over this river and this town. And if I'm going to be there, at my end destination in 15 minutes, I'll be there at about 7 or 8. So that's time 09-ish. Time 10. Just hold heading, hold height. So at 9 past, 10 past, I'm going to be passing over this. I'm going to look ahead. I'm not going to wait until that time is rocked up. I'm going to look into the future. I notice this river, you bend towards me, you bend towards me. What I'd love to do is to be able to turn my map. I can't do that, so I can't twist my head enough. So I'm looking at that U-bend, this straight part. I'm not halfway, I'm about a quarter to the left, and now I should see the town, and that's what I should see at time 09er, 2 minutes 8, 2 minutes 7, yeah, 09010, 10 past. So hold heading, hold height, watch your wingman, look for traffic. Oh, look, little town. In a few gaps I can start looking out. Is that U-bend in the river? Not too worried about it. Just hold your heading, hold your height. As I said, the advantage in IL-2 is the map changes units for the aircraft that you're flying. So the German and the Russian aircraft in kilometers an hour, your map will be in kilometers. The numbers change a bit. Instead of doing 300, you're probably doing 420, which is nice. That's 7 kilometers a minute. 360, 6. You get up to 480, you're doing 8. I'm in and out of the bottom of the clouds here, so I am starting to look for some of those features that I should see in 2 to 3 minutes. And I do notice that there's one U-bend in the river. Due to cloud, I can't see the other one. I'm not even going to bother trying to look for it. 07. Nope, yep, there's the other one. Nicely in the hole in the clouds. Do I look like a quarter of the way left hand side? Yeah, maybe a little bit too far left. Not too sure. I'll wait for that that town. Alright, so I'm going to turn the auto level off and just pop below cloud and have a look for that town, which should be in about a minute to 2 in front. So coming out of that, there's the river and there's a town. I'm going to auto level just underneath. So that U-bend, not halfway, I'm to the left by about a quarter, but that town has really nailed it for me, so I'm still on track. Just going to hold my heading. And I'm staying underneath so I can use a bit of time revision. That was halfway. So 09, that will be 7 minutes. Let's see where we get to. Technically I should be here at 30 minutes past 9, 30 seconds past 9. So I'm a little bit early by about 30 seconds, so instead of getting there at time 17, I'm probably going to get there at time 16. Let's get away from the nasty Germans at the moment, because I'm flying a Spitfire. Climb back in the cloud. Go back up to 4,200. So my new ETA is time 16. Accelerate back up to 300 miles an hour. Now I've got true airspeed I could worry about, and that's 2% per 1,000 feet. I need to work it out in for the German side, but I usually don't even worry about that. So 7 minutes until we reach target. What I do notice is I've got this aerodrome here, these almost 2 aerodromes there, and that town. I'll keep an eye out for that. I might pop out in a cloud, out of the cloud for a second. Can just check my approximate position. So how am I going to find the actual target? Oh, there's a hole in the cloud. Can't see much. Right, first thing I want to notice, a big visual feature. I've got this big forest, maybe that body of water. Oh, yep, out of cloud there's one town, one aerodrome. Is that another one? So roughly in the right position. Body of water. I might see further down this town. So we're left of that route. Got a train line going east-west, a road coming north-south. Train line passes north side of town. The road goes through the western side of town, then goes south-east, and I've got 2, one off to the west, one off to the south-southwest. Check height, check heading. No holes. Time. 1, 2. Now, so I've got that detail, I know what I'm looking for. Keep an eye out for the holes, see if I can keep an orientation, general position. I want to hit that ground at that time. I'm up at 4,000 feet. If I descend at 1,000 feet per minute, that'll be 4 minutes before. I'm going to pick 2,000 feet per minute because I don't want to spend more time than necessary. Well, there's one aerodrome, so the other aerodrome should be up around there. No, not really, not too fast. So if I'm meant to be there, if I'm descending at 2,000 feet per minute, sorry, I've got 4,000 feet, so it's only 2 minutes beforehand. Got to think back to my numbers. ETA is now 1.6, so time 1.4. I'm going to want to nose down, so that's in a minute's time. It's a hard thing about IL2. I've got no notepad to note down when I'm going to get there. Yeah, it was pretty close to that. So we're coming up to time 1.4. This is my top of descent point. I've got my features I'm going to look for when I get visual, because I'm only a couple minutes out. That built up that, and then look for the town. So there's time 1.4. Now you'll see my poor instrument flying. And I'm going to bring the power back so I don't speed up too much. Coming out of cloud. Okay, there's a built up. Sorry, there's a forest. There's a river. There's my target. I'm off heading. 2,000 feet per minute. Let's see where we hit the ground. ETA was 1.6. Also helps in combat box because you can give good ETAs for when you're going to get to your targets. Looks like I'm going to crash in the ground right along the same line, so my top of descent is even worked out. Heading's been a little bit off, but Not so much that I had trouble finding the target area. So that's how I do DR navigation in IL-2. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the virtual skies. I'll be the one in a flaming wreck, because I always tend to get shot down. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.